And good afternoon and welcome to Sable's WorldForge, guys. Nice to see you. Thanks so much for the raid, Songbird. It was really nice to see you streaming. I've missed you. How is everyone doing today? You'll have to forgive me for being a little disorganized. I'm totally... Last night at about 11:30, my body told my brain, all right, you know what? I've had enough of your shit and this nonsense with sleeping 5 hours a night at, starting at 3 o'clock in the morning for the past like 2 or 3 weeks. You're going to bed. So I woke up at about 6:30, 7 o'clock, and then I went back to sleep. And ironically, now I am more groggy than I was yesterday. My brain feels clearer though, so it's a good thing. So, hello Barbarossa, Alicia Swan, hello. Welcome. I don't think I've seen you on the channel before, but I was seeing you in Esong streams, so welcome if this is your first time here. And if not, I'm sorry that my brain is stupid. Tekka-chan, hello. Hi Bob, good to see you. Hi Kajutan. Hi Stretch. Hello, hello. Yes, you will be more groggy as it catches up on you once you've rested. Yeah, Stretch would know. He sleeps like I do, apparently. Oh, Swan775. Okay, of course I know you. Yes, okay, cool. Welcome. Good to see you. And yes, I caught Bob's stream this morning, Dinosaur Bob's stream, for the first time in, like, forever. I sometimes have woken up early enough to catch, like, the last 10 minutes, but usually I don't catch his streams. But I did see it today, and we got some word sprints done, which was fun. So that's great. Barbarossa says, like the quote from Chernobyl, every lie owes a debt of truth that has to be paid eventually, same goes with sleep. Yep. The body was like, I'm done with your crap. That's it. Go to bed. Deal with it. And so, yeah. But as you can see, I actually don't have enormous bags under my eyes today that I had to hide with spoons before I came on screen. So this is a plus. Since summer camp? Yeah, summer camp might have been when I last caught your stream, for sure. So... yeah, so it was good, and I caught Hefe today. I caught most of his stream, and normally I only catch like the last 15 minutes of his stream too, and and that was really great. So I rather enjoyed that, and I saw sunrise for the first time in a while. Okay, actually, that whole like sleep cycle being screwed up is pretty normal for me. It happens twice a year, around the spring equinox and the autumn equinox. I'm really kind of glad. Oh, thank you for the follow. Right on. Yay! That's 192. When we get to 198, we're going to do something cool. We're going to do a raffle of some kind. I don't know what we're going to raffle yet, but... Or, like, yeah, no, sorry. When we get to 200. Yeah, when we get 8 more is what I meant to say. Well, I lied. 6 more, because we're now at 194. Apparently, people must have followed while I was, like, not broadcasting, so let's see. Oh, thank you, Sadose26. Sadose26 has signed up to do word counting during the Game of Tomes, and they are a brand new streamer. So if they're going to make affiliate by the 1st so that they can set up the channel points, they're going to need your support. So go there and give them your support. Right? That's, let's see, S-O-D-O, oh, if I can spell today, put my fingers on the right keys. S, okay, where are we? O, S-O-D-O-S-E 26. There it is. Okay. And also thank you, Smiling Tiger, for the follow. And 101 Mystic, I thought you were already following. Cool. Well, thanks for the follow. That's great. Right on. Yeah, 6 more followers and we'll do a raffle, guys. Of some kind. I don't know what. That might actually have to be like a real physical book. We'll have to see. Thank you for the posture check and the hydrate. Oh, I'm a 195 yet. My stream manager hasn't caught up yet. Okay, now it did. Cool. All right, 5 more. 5 more, guys. I don't know. What do you guys want? Do you guys want me to raffle off a physical book? Is that something that would be of interest to people? Should I do like a Weird West package? Like, you know, that would be ebooks. I mean, I don't know. Oh, I got my glasses right here. They're Barbarossa. I just haven't put them on yet. Hey, Aegon. Good to see you. Oh, yes. Moonflower Writer is also not affiliate yet. They are closer. They're at like 30-something now, right? But they also would like to keep track of word counts for us. So give them your support, guys. Moonflower_writer. I'm sure you have seen them in the chat a lot. You know, they're on the Discord. They're awesome. Go check them out. So there you go. Great, thanks Bob for the link. That's excellent. I know, I'll unfollow and follow again 5 times. That'll do, won't it? Nice try. Okay, yeah, no. Hi, 101 Mystic. Nice to see you. Thank you for the follow. So, I don't think I had thanked you since, like, the last time I did a broadcast, so. Yeah, and if Barbarossa signs up, well, either way, support Barbarossa, because he's streaming some really cool, he did like a cool setup and everything, and he's doing World Anvil content and writing content. He's playing some games too, if you're into that. I generally don't watch video game streams. I know this is sacrilege on Twitch, but I don't. And the reason why is because then I end up wanting to play them, and I don't have time to play video games. I have too much writing to do, so that is what the deal is. And yeah, thank you for the follow. Yes. Already following all of them, says Aaron. That's the way to do it. So am I, actually. So. Yeah, Barbarossa says, I needed the game to relax after a mental collapse. No judgment, man. Right? Gaming is the big thing on Twitch. You want to play games? Games are awesome. I like them, right? I never have time to play them, but what I'll do is when they have a storyline, I'll go to YouTube and I'll watch like the video game movie. So I know the plot, right? Like, you know, I know the story behind the whole Assassin's Creed series. I know the story behind Mass Effect. I've never played any of these video games, and besides, I suck at things where you have to maneuver that are like first-person games. I'm no good at them. Right? But, you know, the story is great. There's some really excellent science fiction and fantasy writing going on in video games. I have said it before, and I will say it again. Right? So, you know, cool. Right? I just personally don't have time to watch video game streams, right? So that's me. The Call of Cthulhu game, says Barbarossa, that he has been playing has a pretty good story. That's great. Right? Okay, so today, guys, I'm still trying to do Nanowrimo Prep. And what I'm trying to do is get my first book fully edited, and my second book in the series partially edited, and it input into a timeline before I start writing before I continue writing the third book, which is what I would like to finish for Nano this year. Right? So that is what I hope to be working on. And the problem is I'm at a point where I'm kind of stuck with what I'm doing because I have some decisions to make in terms of pacing, right? I have a couple of events. I have to decide what order they're going to appear in. I have contradictory edits about it, right, from people that I respect. So basically, I've got to kind of feel it out for myself. Right? I also have to put back into the book some things that I took out, and I don't know how to do it without screwing up the novella that I made out of the things that I took out. So I'm probably overthinking this, and maybe I should just get the damn things down and the timeline sorted out. But my concern is that if I put these events in there and then I change my mind about the order that they're going in, it'll fuck up my timeline, right? And I have to have the timeline clear in order to continue what I'm doing in book 3. I'm at a point now where it's really important to have the sequence of time clear, right? And you know, we're talking about a war. It goes on over years. Keeping track of those years is essential, right? Okay, 101 Mystic says, I'm not a person with the attention span for video games. whenever I need to level up and not just play the story. I hear you. Grinding, no use for it. None. My least favorite thing, I used to play World of Warcraft and SWTOR with friends a lot, which I enjoyed doing as a group activity. I generally wouldn't do it by myself, but, raids and quests and things. But grinding, I just don't have the time or the patience. I don't give a shit. I don't care, right? Making stuff that's endless, let's go into the wilderness and find whatever herb randomly in mass quantities and then take it back and press buttons continually until it's all manufactured. I don't have time for that crap. Oh, wow. Hey, thank you for the subscription, Danny. Yay. Wonderful. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Yay. Danny is awesome. If you're not checked out Danny's channel, go check out Danny's channel. I always miss her streams too. I end up watching VODs later because, if they're available, because I like... or I catch like the beginning, right? Because she streams really early in the morning, right? So generally when I catch her stream, it's like, okay, I haven't been to bed yet. But she's awesome and she's cool and you should go support her. So, and she's also one of the house leaders for the Game of Tomes. So this is important. So this is what I'm like when I actually have had mostly enough sleep. Okay, anyway, 101 Mystic. I'm not a person with the attention span for video games whenever I need to level up and not just play the story, so I watch YouTube or Twitch for video games instead of pretending I will actually play them. Excellent. DM Stretch says, I'll be doing a sprint on justeat.com and ordering my dinner. Just been paid and feeling lazy. Awesome. Kajitan says, why do I get 404 on links to Toy Soldier Saga below the stream? What? I don't know, and now I'm concerned, so I'm going to find out if that is a problem. I don't know. Okay, that worked for me. Maybe I'll go to my main screen here. See, there's a Toy Soldier link. Here's the main site. Or are you talking about trying to watch the stream from the site? Is that what we're talking about? Because I am concerned. So, okay, that's the main page. Let's see here. It's probably going to say dropping a lot of frames because when I go to the stream, yeah, there we are. See, a little mini stream running in the corner there. Fortunately, it's muted, so you don't get stupid echoes, but yeah. I don't know. Yep, I'm dropping a lot of frames. I cannot watch my own stream on my stream. I cannot do it. I'm not allowed. So, back to the WorldForge screen. Okay. Or is it that I've got a bad link in my description in the Twitch channel? That could be it. Yeah, 101 Mystic agreeing with me earlier. Yeah, or just like, kill more enemies, and I just don't like it. I tried, but nope, no more. Well, of course, you're welcome for the shout out, because you're awesome. So, and that's to Danny, of course. Danny was going to say, I look rested. I'm not babbling incoherently as my ADD runs away with me and isn't controlled by sleep deprivation. Cool. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. This is also what I'm like after a couple drinks, just so you know. Okay. Nah, I gotta do homework, but I'll lurk, says Barbarossa. Thanks for lurking. Awesome. The link's in the About panel on Twitch. Oh, maybe I didn't update that when I updated the link. Okay, I'm sorry. I will fix that when we're done. Ah, that's what it is. Okay. Thanks for figuring it out, guys. I appreciate it. Okay, I will update that as soon as I am done. Yeah, I did not realize that I had not updated that. I also need to take that scheduling panel thing right off because I can't keep up with it with all the different streams that Aaron in particular has added, which is awesome, and I appreciate that he's doing that. I can't, it's just not accurate anymore. And even if it were, you can't read it because it's all like in little tiny letters. So I'm done with it. Danny says drunk Sable equals awake Sable. Noted. No, couple drinks. Okay, couple drinks. After I get to drunk Sable, it's a nighty night time, and then I'm no fun at all because I'm sleeping. I'm ridiculous. Okay, so I figure I'm gonna work on that stuff today. I don't have an alliance challenge to do anymore because I'm satisfied with what I've done on it, and strangely, it's about half the word count, little more than like I am kind of stunned that I managed to get done what I wanted to get done within those words, and it says what it needs to say. It's got the leaders of the different factions. It's got information about all of them. If you click on the individual factions in my diplomacy web, you will get little they're not even stub articles. They're more than stubs. They're about 500 words each, I think, about the different factions and more details about how they relate to each other within the whole system, right? Because I guess I can show them to you if. All right, so whoop, wrong one. All right, so yeah, there we go. So often I've gone to this. Okay, so the Solstice Pact is an alliance between Fomorian powers. They're basically the equivalent of the Central Powers in World War I. I loosely based my structure for them on the Central Powers, right? And these are the faction that I can't say it's their fault that the First Interstellar War started, because there are two sides to every story, an unreliable narrator, right? But they were one of the sides in the First Interstellar War. The other, of course, being the Avalonians and their allies, so elves, gnomes. There were humans on both sides, you know, couple of factions here and there, right? But anyway, right, I've got their symbol here, right? I've got the list of constituent members. I've made flags for all of them. There's some that are more significant than others. These are like sub-powers. This is the only article I'm not really, like, these two are the only ones I'm not really done with. The Empire of Grunris, right? I would like to break down more and do more detail on each of the, like, powers within their empire, but that is work for another day, right? It's not that important right now. Okay, and then Harakirisu, they're, and I'm not saying that right. The double R indicates it's rolled in Orcish, but I can't pronounce rolled R's very well. They have a couple of sub powers, and I need to explain eventually too. But otherwise, I'm done with everything, right? Like, I've got their motto. Here's the date they were founded. I got music. I got a map. I got a map that shows the star systems where they are. Thank you, honey, for making me the map. You're amazing. All the important information. All these are like lesser powers that are independent signatories to the pact, right? If there is an ethnic group that we've made that is a Fomorian ethnic group, they're in here. We haven't made all of the ethnic groups. Like, there's 2 different ethnic groups of ogres, for example, that, but we haven't done the ogres yet, right? Here's my diplomacy web. right? You click on any one of these, you'll get an independent article. I actually wanted this information in here, and this is still like the sidebar with the details about their relationship and what these different scores mean, how they relate to each other, because in this case it was actually important. And weirdly, I'm the one that first asked, how do I hide this? And the reason why I asked it is because I always go over word count in these articles, but this time I did not, so I'm keeping it, and now we have a feature where we can click it off. You're welcome. Here's a list of the leaders of the major powers. I haven't made up articles for each of them yet, but they are underway. Their agenda, quotes, and, you know, like I said, you can click on any one of these and learn more about these guys. I just set them all up as child articles. So I don't need anything else. The grand total is something like 1,500 words. I'm kind of stunned. This has like never happened to me before. Okay, so Aaron finished Gurdan. Gurdan is one of the major leaders. He is the leader of the Dragon Syndicate. He is a goblin. Aaron is the goblin guy in our world. He makes all the goblin stuff because he's cool and he likes them. So yeah, Gurdan Meteor Swarm. Don Magno of the Dragon Syndicate. Dawn of the Meteors Cartel. A syndicate of like sort of trade power goblins that are powerful enough to be considered their own geopolitical force. So our goblins are different. Yeah. Kajutan says, how did you make the star map? I was looking for a way to do them for a very long time. Aaron says, Campaign Cartographer 3+. We've had a subscription to them forever. He has everything involved in it. This is why he made the map, because he knows how to make it, right? Campaign Cartographer has justly been criticized as having a steep learning curve. I do not have time to figure it out. So, but he has made a point of figuring it out. I will be happy to show you the map in more detail, actually, because you really should admire Aaron's amazing work. So we will look at it. I'm sure there's got to be... Okay, no. I want to look at it in presentation mode here. Alright, no, it won't let me here. Why not? Used to be able to do that. What the hell? Let's see. Okay, you know what? And I'm not even showing it on the full page yet. So okay, you know what? We're gonna go to the full version of the map because really, you should see his map. It is amazing. Okay, and I don't have it on the right screen either. All right, maps. Okay, so for right now, it's just the Solstice Pact. This is actually going to be, this is the basic pattern of our world map, our universe map. This is known space, right? But we're going to present it differently, right? So these are all the different systems that have powers that are involved in the Solstice Pact that are marked on the tags. In different versions of this map, you will not see that. Let's go in for a closer look. I'll take this off so that you can see the details. We have different star types. Notice that here we have a big supernova. Isn't that great? That kind of screwed shit up for the history of our universe, so that was kind of fun. Mostly we have yellow G-type stars like our own. But we have a few white stars. These are, I think, what did I say, M-type stars? A-type stars. Okay, so they're mostly, no, that's an A-type star. That's probably F-type stars, these smaller white ones, white-blue. Notice that this is a binary star system. We have a teeny tiny, I'll close up on it, little red dwarf in there. That's Draconia. Draconia is fun. It's a homebrew campaign. Over here we have a nice red M-type star. Here we have a red dwarf. Notice it is smaller than our, red type star here. This is also a binary system. This is the Solstice system. This is where the pact was signed and where the major power, the Empire of Grunris, was located. This is a brown dwarf that you can see beside it. We didn't put any of the planets on the map. We figured at this scale, this is not going to work. But what I'm going to do for our world, world map, our known space map, our master map, is that I'm going to put, instead of tags, right, I'm going to put circles that are invisible over top of the stars. So if you click on the star, right, if you mouse over the star, it'll give you something like this, right? And if you click on the star, it will take you to the article about that, well, the map about that system, where you will be able to find a link to the article on that system. Don't expect to see this till June. This is going to take a while. Right? And then these guys are all representations of wormholes, all these blue lines. Right? So some of them are two-way between different systems, and some of them only go one way. So yeah. And that is Erin's amazing, awesome, cool work. So... yeah, okay, so I'm scrolling back a bit. Except the World War II Interactive Atlas is the only thing he doesn't have for Campaign Cartographer 3+. Sorry. With the Cosmographer add-on, it's the reason I keep Campaign Cartographer 3 around. Kit says, I have CC3+ and its associated programs. It's wonderful, but brain-meltingly complicated. Yeah, starship layouts are the other reason that Bob keeps it around. Kit says, fractal terrains alone with the ability to export to Campaign Cartographer 3 keeps me in it. Yes, the lines are FTL corridors. Yeah, they represent wormholes. And, yeah, so, correct. DM Stretch wants to know what happened to it after the supernova. Pulsar, he says. No, not yet. We have a pulsar in a different spot. There's a pulsar. Our pulsar is... I mean, right now it's still a supernova. It takes forever for that shit to blow up, right? It only happened a few thousand years ago. There's our pulsar right there. This big brown dude. Because it's just representation. Yeah, this is still collapsing, the supernova. So... but, you know, it screwed stuff up. It was fun. Yeah. Kajitan says, I once tried to make a star system map in Paint. Good for you. I admire your tenacity. Okay, we tried to make something simpler. You guys have probably seen it before. It's a cool map, right? We've made changes since, and I wanted something... when I saw what Erin was doing with Campaign Cartographer that looked like a star map. So he made me one, because he's amazing. So, yeah. Bob says to Kit, I use fractal terrains for geography generation, then zoom, save, ping, trace over in Incarnate. Yep, that works too. Is it supernova or red giant? It is a supernova. It was a blue star and it blew up. It's a supernova. This is the thing, okay? Way back in first edition, this is where we get this. First edition Dungeons & Dragons. You had, okay, you know how in modern editions of Dungeons & Dragons you have low light vision, right? And you have dark vision. And these are two different things, and they kind of don't really define them. But they tried to do it in first edition, and how they defined it was that people who are now low light vision types like elves, right, see partially in the ultraviolet spectrum, right, and you know, orcs and drow and whatnot see in the infrared spectrum, right? I decided to go back to that a bit, right? So, and this is a plot point that will come up at some point, but there is a difference between Orcish and Elvish vision. They see things in different ways. So, elves often come from farther away from their sun, right, in white star systems, right? They couldn't be obviously as close, like the Goldilocks zone will be different, right? And orcs and whatnot often come from red stars or orange stars because they can see more easily in those circumstances. And yellow is kind of the compromise star for the both of them, right? But yellow is also the preferred for many other species like humans, right? So, and, you know, whatnot. So, yeah, right? It's kind of, this is where they overlap. So the yellow starred systems are the places they tend to fight over, right? Yeah, for some reason, most free online map creators, generators don't allow to make star maps, says Kazutan. There's a cheap one that's on Steam. I've seen it before. There's a guy, Anton Petrov. He has a channel on YouTube and he does a program called What the Math, or What the Math, right? Where he explains space science and astrophysics discoveries. And he uses this program from Steam to do this. And I don't remember what it's called, but it's freaking awesome. Like, if you want detailed, amazing star maps that are absolutely consistent with the laws of astrophysics as we currently understand them, wow, right? Unfortunately, my universe isn't entirely consistent with the laws of astrophysics as we currently understand them because I have magic. So, but Campaign Cartographer 3 Plus does what we want it to do. So it's excellent. And I see that people are giving and asking advice of each other for uses of the different Macs. Universe Sandbox, that's the one I'm talking about. Correct. Thank you very much, Kazutan. That is the one. Amazing stuff that I've seen with that. And hi, Chris. Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, absolutely. Share and give advice about using different map tools. That's what we're here for, right? Even lazy cartographers like me need maps. So I desperately needed this map actually to understand how the universe worked, because you have to know where people are going, where they're coming from, and how long it's going to take them to get there. Fortunately, we have these FTL corridors or wormholes, because otherwise I would have to deal with a lot more relativity issues than I do. But I can just kind of do some hand wavium over it because of those, thank goodness. So that's another 15-minute YouTube video Bob's meaning to do. Show how to do that. That would be handy. You know what? I should probably get Aaron to do some YouTube videos about Campaign Cartographer 3 Plus too, actually. Because a lot of people have it, and it can do a lot of amazing, cool things, but it's really complicated. So there you go, honey. If you're looking for something to do and ask an old GM and it's quiet, there's something that I'm sure everyone would benefit from. I would watch your program and learn. I would. Hey Darth, how you doing today? Good to see you. The gang's all here. Awesome. Kajutan says, my inability to make maps is the reason why I prefer to write fantasy set on Earth instead of high fantasy. Okay, you need to make some maps. You need to learn how to do that, because if you're limiting yourself in what you write because you're afraid of the maps, then... Oh, but you know what? I got something for you. I got a present for you. I'm going to show you. This is a toy that I play with. Okay. So, worldspinner.com. This is mapping for lazy people who don't want to make fucking maps. Okay? That's what this is. This is Yggdrasil Sprout. I will show you. I'll show you two things. First of all, it randomly generated this world for me. You input things like what you want the climate to be like. You know, and it's really general settings like Earth normal, hotter than Earth, colder than Earth, you know, whatever, right? It'll generate cities for you. It'll generate cultures for you. Its standard settings use your basically Tolkien-esque D&D fantasy cultures, right? But you can set it to do whatever cultures you want. You can make up your own cultures and change their priorities by like their 6 settings, including things like, you know, um, agriculture. How important is agriculture to them? How important is military to them, right? How important is nautical, which they differentiate from military, you know, stuff like that. But anyway, it generates these maps. Now, this is a map. You may have seen a version of this in my cartography challenge article, because I generated basically these 3 continents. I decided were all different little mini worlds in the uh, roots of a giant tree. So this one is called Ruby, and mostly it's where a bunch of dwarves live. This one is called Peridot, and that is the home world of my protagonist. And this one is called Beryl, and it's mostly a military base. Right? I have also done the Orc World, or Orc Homeworld. Sorry it's slow to load, guys. I hope I'm not dropping a bunch of frames here. Yeah, so let's go to Views, World View. I see something in the chat here, just a second. You want me to share the Toy Soldier directory with you from Dropbox? You didn't want me to do that before, babe, because it filled up your Dropbox. Are you sure? Okay, so this is the Orc World. It is hotter than Earth. This stuff up here is all like dry savanna. This is desert. This is desert so hot that humans would not survive it. Right? It's like really hot. This is something called a steam forest, this light green piece here, right? The dark gold pieces in the center of this big desert is what I'm talking about. That's like really hot desert, right? This light green piece over here in the middle of that one is steam forest. It's so hot and so humid, shit literally boils, right? The future of Earth if we don't get our shit together, by the way. But anyway, okay, so it'll like put nations on it. As you can see, the patterns of nations on this world are weird. That is because it was settled by spacefaring cultures. So they all picked their own mountain. I actually have logic for that. So these are some of the cultures here. And if you want, then you can go to this thing called Map Artist. Pause to scroll. You need files from it. The pics directory. Okay. Give me a minute. I'll do that on the break, okay? Because I gotta send it to you in Discord, I think, don't I? But, okay, so Map Artist. Then you get it to draw different types of maps. Let's do... let's do a classic map. Customize. Yeah, this is like a T-stain type explorer map. You can choose what your border looks like, whether or not you're going to include a compass rose, whether you're going to have like, you know, monsters in the sea kind of thing, whether you're going to do climate and biomes and stuff, right? And we want it for download, not for printing. I guess I did Doomspear homeland as my last thing that I did, so with my subtitle. But let's just draw the damn map here. Check this out. In the meantime, I'll try to catch up a bit on the chat. Darth Nick just woke up. It's his sleep-in day. Well, good for you. It was mine too. Actually, only my body crashed at like 11:30 last night, so I've been up bright and early. Dan Stretch just found a really cool pic of a huge castle on a mountain on Google, copyright free. Now he wants to bring that into his world and use the pic in his article. Alright, so here we have a classic explorer map with like a bunch of different points of interest on it, and like there be dragons and whatnot. Or, if you want, right, maybe you want to show the climate on it. Let's show the different like climate areas with shading. And let's, you know, put some graphics on it too, so it shows the different types of trees. Bob says the only good YouTubes for Campaign Cartographer 3 are like 15 plus years old. Yeah. DM Stretch says, hey, I started by drawing very simple maps using pen and paper. Sometimes that's all you need. Paper and pencil. Yeah. My first maps were pencil crayons on newspaper print. Oh, pre-Campaign Cartographer 3 Plus. It's Campaign Cartographer 3, says Bob. So they don't even have anything for 3 Plus. Well, that's annoying. Aegon says, another good site for that, and gives a link. We will check that out when I'm done showing this off. Okay. Yeah, so see, now we've got the different biomes, and you can see that, you know, some of the topography, right? And it just does it automatically. You don't have to do anything. And it generated it for you. And even made up shit that you could, like, pursue as quests if you want, like, and then incorporate it. And it's all for your use. This is free to use. You can create up to 3 worlds, and it will save them for up to 30 days on the free account. I paid for the yearly account. I don't remember whether it was 10 bucks or 20 bucks, but I did that because I can save 6 worlds, and it will save it as long as I bloody well want. So, I love it. And that's called worldspinner.com. It also does... Okay, let's see if the heraldry artist thing is working today. I bet you it ain't. Okay, when it works, this is an amazing heraldry creator. But it hasn't been working lately. I don't know why. I'm not happy with that. Okay, I'm going back to my worlds, and I'm shifting back to Peridot. To Yggdrasil Sprout, because that's one I was working on. There. Now, let me show you this. Culture editor. In order to get these random cultures on your world, right, different cultures have different needs, right? Now it starts out, it'll give you some commonly used historical human cultures that are often, you know, they use them to base things on in fantasy a lot, right? We have a standard elven culture, right? Behavior, I think, is the key that we want. It'll let you edit things, but magic is their big important thing. They value military and art. They have a general disregard for agriculture and things nautical, right? That's elves, right? And elves grow little over the years because they have a, you know, slow population growth because they are long-lived, right? So my elves are different. Our elves are different. As you can see, they allocated a bit more, and you can either have it balanced, as in everything must total 300 points, right? Or you can have it so that it's just ridiculous, and, you know, they value everything, you know, they're like super crazy, like beyond everything, which I think is no fun. But these guys dialed back the magic a little bit to give more attention to military and matters nautical, right? So, and my Elfar are more military than my She, right? And who are another culture of elves and whatnot. And you can set that all up, and then you put them on your world where they start, and they go at it, right? They'll colonize other continents. They'll fight wars with other cultures. If you're lazy about it, you can manipulate it all, right? And then this is different priorities between altruistic and uncaring, libertarian and authoritarian, intellectual and anti-intellectual, cautious and reckless, atheist and religious, unstable and stable. Like, do they change a lot? You know, rural or urban, and freedom and slavery. This is the only one that's a binary. Either you have slavery or you have freedom. Everything else is kind of a graded scale. So yeah, and you can set those priorities, and then depending on the behavior you set, they will do different things, right? I had to make a few changes in the history. I ended up deleting cultures off the map and making other changes. But when you kind of have a general idea of what you want to do but not specifics, then the culture maps can be very helpful. And if you don't want any of that, you know, don't put cultures on your map, just make a map. It also does name generation. Why this is fun is because you can make your own name generators. Everybody uses Fantasy Name Generator. It's an awesome site, but this site lets you make up your own shit. These are all the shit that I made up. Hee hee hee. Plus, it'll do things for different cultures that you don't have to specifically make up. I've got links to these. You can create links to these name generators and put them on your web pages too. If you go to my Elfar ethnicity article, you will find a link to generate Elfar names. So, I love this site. Alright. Okay, I babbled for a while. Now let's check out this one that Aegon recommended for maps for the lazy. That looks interesting. Alright, Bob, see you later. My elves are different sounds like a title from tvtropes.org. It is, as a matter of fact. That is why I'm quoting it. My elves are different. Moonflower says, I just had to explain role hierarchy in Discord, and honestly, that was the most difficult explanation ever. I hear you. Kajitan says to DM, Stretch, that map looks better than any map I ever drew. Me too. What is the website name? World Spinner is the website name. This one, alright. Updated. Military force changes. Oh, hey, I've seen people with these maps. That's cool. Ice layer, ice editor, route and river elevation profile, image converter enhancement, name generator improvement. You can also download a desktop application, join our Discord server. Thanks all supporters. Okay. So this just kind of randomly generates this. Can I change the names of these? Yes, I can. Okay. Ah. Okay. Cool, Aegon. I've seen people do this. Ha! Cultural map different from national map. I like it. Religions? Ooh, we got like a very expansionistic religion over here. Provinces? Oh, yeah. Military map? Well, this is freaking cool. Pure landmass. Let's look at some biomes. Uh-huh. Very green world, this one. Topography? Well, I thought people were drawing something cool and, like, you know, that they were better mappers than me, but that's great. I'm bookmarking this. Thank you. Where's my bookmarks? There we go. There we go. Awesome. Thank you very much for sharing that with me. That is really cool. All right. TV Tropes is a very good and funny website. Agreed, Kajitan. Also a useful one. And there's nothing wrong with tropes. Sometimes it's actually really helpful to have an intellectual understanding of the tropes you're using. Right? My world relies heavily on space is an ocean. Really heavily. You ain't never seen anything this heavy relying on that trope. Okay. Aegon says, my world, elves are very different. Oh, that's great. Aaron says, elves are friggin' monsters. They and their do-gooder allies treat people worse than varmints. Yeah, Aegon says, you can even mess with the world pulls and tilt too. That's awesome. I like that muchly. Elves in my world were the dominating race and had enslaved all the other races. Well, sounds like they're a bit more extreme than ours. Ours are just colonialist assholes. So, Kajitan says almost every sci-fi relies on space is an ocean. Correct. Yeah. Or space is the sky. Right? In which case we have, like, you know, Air Force. I do that a bit too. I'm honest. So, all right, we're at 2 o'clock. Aaron needs a link from me. I have to send it to him in the Discord. So I'm going to take a 5-minute break. I'm going to go do that on that computer over there. And I will be right back. Maybe 10 minutes. Because I might take the opportunity for a bio break too. I will see you in a moment. Alright, and we're back. The chat hasn't been very chatty. But that is okay, because we've done lots of chattering already. Let's see. Moonflower says, allergies are killing her right now. No doubt. Yeah, this time of year isn't that great for allergies for me, too. I think I've passed the bad time of year now, though. Because, mold tends to be a big thing for me. Also, poplars. May is hell. I would, like, cut down all the poplars and replace them all with birches. Okay. Chris says, I've been listening to SpongeBob's Street Rag OST, and it's slowly driving me crazy. Why are you listening to it then? Turn it off! Sorry. Okay. Alright. I'm not sure what to do at the moment. I think that I probably should get to work. What do you guys think? I'm gonna need something to keep me company at these times, says Chris. Fair enough. Yes. Yes, when we reach 30 subs, we will raffle off a signed physical book. We will send it anywhere in the world. We're at 15 subs right now, so we're halfway there. And yeah, 5 more followers, and we'll do a raffle as well. How would you guys like, I don't know, 1-year subscriptions to all of the Toy Soldier Saga and Weird West fiction that is generally only available to my patrons? Sinsim2 says, and hello, I do not recognize your name, but welcome. Says, I am looking to do a word sprint. Could use some competition. All right. Nick says that would be epic. Okay, we can do that. All right. Okay, so that's what we're going to do for our raffle. 5 more. 5 more follows, and we'll do it. Okay. Yes, work would be good, eh? Let's see here. Why don't I set up my work first, and then we'll do some sprinting. Sounds good to me. I think I'm done actually with this now. I was comparing the story version of, like, this event appears in the novel. I put the story out for the public to read on World Anvil as kind of a, here's the first taste is free. I will put the link in here if you guys want to check it out. Who needs to work, says Siobhan. To be fair, I have been working very, very hard, but I still have a lot of work to do. And I'm fresh and lively today. So if you guys want to read the story, you can. Right? But the event happens in the novel as well. And I was double checking to make sure that it was in alignment with what I had going on in the novel. Now it is. Plus, since I recently edited that one, I think it was a much better presentation of that whole event. And I have now done that. So, we're going to continue working here. And I think I'll also put up my Word document. Because as you can see, I'm, like I said at the beginning of the stream, trying to organize events. I also have to publish a chapter today, don't I? I believe that I owe that to my patrons today. Also, I am behind on a couple of things I owe my patrons that I better get done. Alright, what am I looking at? Word is what I want. Because I'm transferring all of this out of Word and into manuscripts on World Anvil, which in my opinion is a much superior editing software. And I want it all to be ready for Nanowrimo. Alright, I need the navigation pane there. I think I've basically finished this, actually. Yes, now I have to open 9th edit. Because I was going to split up the story. Or is it 10th edit that I need to edit? I don't remember what I'm doing anymore. The absolute final edit. Final edit. Final edit. The final edit of the final edit. Oh yeah, I was doing all this merry bullshit. Haha. I was not very bright about any of this. Okay. Okay, that's where I was. All right. Let's get some sprinting done. Yeah, the final edit. The, you know, apocalypse edit. Yeah. It's true. I do have a channel point reward to make me do a sprint, but we're going to do sprints anyway. It's all good. Thanks there, Stretch. Oh, I need to do my Patreon stuff. Thanks for the reminder, says DM Stretch. Yes, I still owe my patrons a personal update video, and I still owe them a live reading of part of the Weird West Chronicles. So, and I have not done that yet. To be honest, since I started streaming on Twitch, I hate streaming on YouTube. Right? And that's how you do, like, unlisted streams. Otherwise, people have to subscribe to your channel, and my patrons have already given me money, so I don't want them to ask. I don't want to ask them for more money. But I really hate streaming on YouTube. They've made it such a pain in the ass since they got rid of the integrated streaming software, and I just don't like it. So I kind of procrastinate. Yeah. Sin says, I'm going to try and be ready for Nanowrimo. Excellent. Are you going to play the Game of Tomes with us? Have you heard about the Game of Tomes yet? And Siobhan says that she did 50 days, 100k words. Yeah. I hate you. I'm just saying. Okay. I am much slower at that. You have no idea what that game is. All right. Cool. I get to talk to you about it. And there's other people in the chat. Okay, so the Game of Tomes. It basically, I'll go back to the main screen for just a second. Game of Tomes. Chris says, I heard Game of Tomes and came here at the speed of light. I believe it. Okay, the Game of Tomes. If you've ever done NaNoWriMo before, you've probably done something called the Nano House Cup, which is something that runs on the Nano Word Sprints Twitter account by a lady named Elena May. She put it together. Right, and basically in that competition, you choose one of the Hogwarts houses, you represent them, and then during the course of the 3 hours or whatever that she runs the sprints, you total up your cumulative word count for your house, and you get bragging rights depending on where you rank in the total. Okay, so we're doing this, only it's going to be all month, and there are eliminations. Okay, so the Game of Tomes is loosely styled after the Game of Thrones, obviously, and you choose houses. You get the right side? I did. Haha! Okay, that's my house symbol. We are House Lappin. We are the Plot Bunny house, right? But you choose a house, and you represent that house. There are 6 houses. Every 5 days, the house with the lowest cumulated word count total is eliminated. The members of that house, 2/3 of them get to choose another house to bend the knee to support, right? Or 1/3 of them, however, are randomly drafted into the Undead Horde. If you are drafted at any point into the Undead Horde, you must represent the Undead Horde for the remainder of the competition, right? So after on the last 5 days of Nano, so the 25th to the 30th, it'll be the last remaining house versus the Undead Horde, right? There, I put all the links in the chat, or as commands in the chat. There is the link to the details. It's kind of it's a long article, but to get the gist, watch the clip that of World Anvil explaining it, and then watch the video about the houses, the one where I say, if you want to see the whole thing, do it on live screen. Okay, awesome. Awesome. You'll join that? Okay, cool. How it works is that this is a Twitch event. It's an official event of the Anvilite Streamer Corps, which is a group of World Anvil streamer types, people who stream World Anvil content, right? If the word counts only count in participating streams. To redeem your word count, there will be a channel point reward set up for each active house on every participating stream. It will cost you 1 channel point to redeem your word count total because you have to make it cost something. There will be a list of, the different banners representing the different houses to report your word count for that house. When we say how'd you do in the sprint, you click on that banner, right? And then in the chat window that pops up, which is basically the same thing as when you highlight a message on Twitch, you type in your word count, right? There are also minor houses that you can join, or you can make a minor house if you want. You can stick with one house, or you can play mercenary from stream to stream, or even sprint to sprint if you really want to. We're keeping track of it by the channel points reward queue. You are considered to share the fate of the last house that you represented when the date turns over for the next elimination. So, and all the details are explained in there. Here's the different houses. We're going to go by fairly quickly. This is House Apis, led by Danny Adventures, who is in the chat. You may have to scroll back a bit to get them all here, but I want to... This is House Avis, led by Chrysalia, who is also in the chat. Where was I? Avis, Apis. This is House Caraptera, led by Siobhan, the writer, who is also in the chat. This is House Lapin, led by myself. Yeah, DM Stretch says, all you need to know is join Minor House Varangia and you get a free axe. Yeah, he has a very cool axe banner, actually, which he's made for his lesser house, which is awesome. And they are currently in service to Caraptera. So, okay. All right, and then this is House Melis, led by Darth Nicholas, who is also in the chat. See, like the gang's all here. House Mollusca is led by Coffee Quills, who I think is the only one who's not currently in the chat. And then my darling husband is the leader of the Undead Horde. The Undead Horde starts with 1, the Night King. And after 5 days, he gets a third of the eliminated house. And that keeps happening. So, it will be fun. I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be great. Yeah, throw some hedgies for Coffee. That's right. Coffee Quills, her symbol, her thing is hedgehogs on her channel. Right? Her banner is like tentacles. It's an octopus. So, yeah. And if you're going to play, we'd love to have you. You don't have to officially sign up to NaNoWriMo to do it. You just have to count your word counts in participating streams. There are, as of this morning, 17 streamers who have agreed to keep track of word counts for this. Yes, Aaron has decided that the unliving do not conform to the living standards of spelling. But I'm going to be a living person colonialist and keep spelling it my way anyway. Yeah, Aaron's fun. It's going to be good. All right, let's get to work. You guys ready to sprint? I'm ready to sprint. All right, it's 2:25 according to my clock, so the sprint will be done at 2:40. 15 minutes. Yeah. Danny says, however you spell it, House Apis won't be part of your zombies. Because her symbol is the hive. It's great. Okay, and here we go on the sprint. Alright. Now, I think these guys can all be a new chapter because that's long enough. That's more than 2,000 words. That's long enough for a chapter. So let's make a new folder. You were annoying me, chapter. Okay. You're being annoying. Fine. Chapter 23. Bless you, dear. There we go. I like that better. If they'll just took this whole scene and put it in the bin. In the bin. In the bin. Okay, there we go. Three, 1. Jesus Christ. Okay. To answer your question there, Barbarossa, as you can see, this is broken. I don't actually use this mic. I'm using the mic on my webcam, which is actually amazing quality. I was really fortunate in that I got a good quality webcam before everybody went to Zoom. I bought it before the pandemic started, so, now you can't find one to save your life. Um, I don't know. You could try um, yeah, you could try a webcam mic. You could try your onboard mic. You could try noise gate, like DM Stretch said. You could try um, turning down your gain, maybe. Playing with the volume settings. Like maybe turn down the main volume of the mic pickup, but turn up the volume of the mic on your streaming settings. You could try that. You know what? I think at this point I'd better go back to my timeline. Okay, chapter 19 is where I last was with that. Alright, that's the end of the sprint, guys. How'd you do? I feel pretty good. I made a decision about what the hell I was doing. So that is helpful to me. Kajutan says, I need a bit of inspiration. A teenage girl from a completely isolated community, Amazons, escapes to the outside world, Earth with magic. What could she encounter? A jeep? That's cool. Yeah, 224. Good words. Good word count there, Sinsim. Congratulations. That's excellent. I don't know if anybody else was doing like a, proper word sprint, Okay, so it's like the modern world, only it has magic. And what level of tech do the Amazons have? Like, is it like Themyscira? Are they all still using basically ancient Greek warfare type stuff? Or what? Okay. It's hard not to steal blatantly from Wonder Woman, but I mean, why not? Okay, let's see here. Yeah, alright. Um, Yeah, I agree. A vehicle is an obvious decision. What manner of chariot is this? You know, men? What the hell is that? Yeah, a boy. That could be cool because that's a different approach. Normally when they have Amazons come out of jungles, they meet some man and they're like, "What is this weird creature?" Poke poke, you know. But a boy might be an entirely different approach, right? I'm sure they'll recognize that this is a child, right? But they've, and boys and girls up to a certain age don't really look that different. So that might be an interesting approach for sure. Um, Cell phone, computers. Uh, where do they first escape to? Where does she first end up? Yeah, a boy her age. Walking Dead Lover says, my darn cat just ran across my keyboard and turned on airplane mode. Normally, he doesn't do that. DM Stretcher says, hostility? The character would be 15 years old by human standards, but only 5 by Amazon standards. Yeah, Sin Sim says what you get for being owned by a cat. I have 3. They're cute. I might kill 2 of them. They seem to have decided that if there are soft clothes on the floor, they're recently not strays, and they've decided that if there are soft clothes on the floor, that is a great place to pee. We don't think that's a great place to pee. So, we're having a discussion about this. Um, I don't know whereabouts do they appear? Like what part of the world is it that that this girl shows up in their Kajitan? Because that has a bearing. What they're going to encounter in Tokyo is a totally different thing from what they're going to encounter in some rural farm in the Amazon jungle, right? All right, we got 30-second countdown before our next sprint here, guys. I think that I will take my 3 o'clock break after the next sprint. It'll be a real brief break. Okay, you know who you need to talk to is Dimitri then. Because he would be more familiar with the immediate area. Okay, chapter 14. It's the last one I published. So let's make sure that chapter 15 is smooth and ready to go. I think small is the word I meant there. Damn it. I don't think it did what I wanted it to do. Okay. Because I forgot to type a key afterwards. Yes. Okay. Well, I know what I'm doing for this sprint then. Lisai. Alright. When I first started this manuscript ages ago, it was still the custom to use 2 period or spaces after a period. Now everybody insists you use 1. And the problem is I've, been editing part of it, and part of it has 1 period or space after the period, 1 has 2. But you know what? Find Replace can fix that. And I already did that once this morning, but I forgot that you can't change scenes until you have hit a key to engage the autosave. It was chapter 2 I just did, wasn't it? No. And that's just as important as anything else I'm doing. For crying out loud. One thing I want to do too with this is I want to make sure that I have everything like ready to go for the chapters I intend to publish to my patrons over the next couple of months, because I don't want to have to think about it in the middle of Nano while I'm worried about getting my other manuscript done, right? So I think I'll just make sure this is done up to the chapter I have published for now. good. Okay, so we're caught up there. Alright, that's the end of the sprint. How'd you guys do? As you can see, I did some very annoying pain in the ass edits, but I made some good progress. Alright. DM Stretch says Kajutan also things like corruption and greed. And then says, what makes you think Amazons don't have corruption and greed? Good point. Sinsim says they'd have found the rest of the world if they did. It's not that hard to spot. Yeah. Sinsim, yeah, fair enough. I'm not going to get into ethical debates about the nature of humanity. Yeah. Kajutan says to Sinsim, yes, but Amazons are partially divine beings, so they have some human flaws, but weaker. In my world, gods are almost perfect with no flaws. Sinsim says what keeps them from meeting ordinary humans long before your story starts. Yeah, well, that's a good question, right? Kajutan says, I guess it would be their belief that the gods, so-called Olympians, will call them to aid them in an attempt to win back a place in Olympus. Sinsim says if humans discovered Bermuda, they can discover Amazonians, so that's a major issue that needs to be explained if I'm going to suspend my disbelief. The problems of using the real world. Yeah. Kajutan says humans in my world eradicated the elves and forced centaurs out of their territory. DM Stretch says they're cut off from the rest of the world somehow, some sort of geological barrier. Simpson says, did I miss the hydrate? No, you didn't, thank you. I just didn't catch it because for some reason it didn't make a noise. Much appreciated. Yes, DM Stretch is informing Simsim that sometimes I don't pay that close attention to the chat because I'm concentrating on my working window. And with Twitch Studio, unlike Streamlabs, I can't look at my Twitch Studio window and scroll what's in my screen. I have to actually be on my screen. So Kajitan says, as I think more and more about the Amazons, I start to wonder if they really fit into my world. Yeah, fair enough. Sin Sin says, they don't fit into mine, and I have elves and magic too. Is your world Earth with magic as well? Asked Kajitan. Yeah, well, yeah, and DM Stretch points out, well, you can always make them fit. Exactly. All right. And then coming up with different ideas for ways in which for the Amazons to disappear. There's lots of things you can do in a world with magic. Maybe it has a somebody else's problem field on it, like in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and people just don't notice that it's there because magic makes them just not notice that it's there. Right? It's magic. Right? You can do whatever you want as long as you. It has more plausibility to a modern audience if you make it consistent. Right? Once you've established your own magic system, as long as it works consistently, it's usually fine. You do not have to be Brandon Sanderson and have charts and maps, however. Things can be like loose. It is okay to do that as long as it works consistently within your understanding of it, right? And then hopefully that will be communicated to the reader. So, yeah, I mean, like, they could be in impassable mountains. They could be, and why would satellites not have noticed them? Because maybe satellites just don't notice magic stuff. Maybe electronic recording equipment doesn't notice it, Um, Maybe it specifically has a spell of disappearance that was put on it by Kirky, so you can't see it. Or Circe, as some people call her, but it's Kirky, is how it's actually pronounced in Greek, right? So that's an option. Hello, Weirdwin, welcome! Thank you very much for the raid! Good to see you! I haven't seen you in a while. How are you? I hope your stream went well. Yeah, cool. That's great. We're currently talking about how to make Amazons disappear from the regular world so that they're not noticed until recently. What a weird Wade. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. It's good to see you. And hello, Rabin Wrights, or Rabin Wrights. Rabin? Yeah, I've seen you. I know you. It's been a while since I've seen you, too. I'm glad to see you. I hope you're well. Yeah. Yeah, we're talking about Amazons. We're talking about a way to make them disappear from the rest of the world. So, and make sure I pronounced it right, by the way. Please let me know. I want to make sure I get it right. I'm not bad usually, but sometimes I'm way off, so. Aha! Robin is usually part of the early morning crowd. Fair enough. Or the middle of the goddamn night, as I would put it. The time when I'm usually like, okay, it's time to go to bed now. I'm exhausted. It's time to go to bed. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of different things you could do to make your Amazons disappear. Themyscira is actually pretty well thought out. It's on an island. It's in the middle of the ocean, right? So it's hard for the Amazons to leave. There are places in the ocean, especially the deep ocean, that are rarely, if ever, paid much attention to. If there was some kind of obscurity spell on it, it could easily blend into the background, even with Google Earth. Maybe they know there's an island there, but maybe it looks like it's deserted. Or maybe they don't know where there's an island there. Or maybe they know that there's a spot there where instruments all screw up and it will actually have to be explored, right? Like, there's all kinds of places like that in the world. Do you know that there's a place on the Earth where gravity is less than it is in other places in the Earth? Did you know that? I didn't know that until recently. I'm not making that shit up. That shit's been there, and, Arthur C. Clarke wrote about it in a book about building a space elevator, which is where the idea came from. It's, like, amazing. Ah, Rabin. Okay, thank you very much. Morning is a state of mind. Correct. If I remember, Rabin is in the Philippines. Often a muddled one some morning can be forever with some of us. Yeah, DM Stretch says, in fact, there's a race in Stargate SG-1 that uses cloaking to totally hide themselves. You would use illusion magic instead. Yeah, basically, okay, I'm writing a space opera that is a fantasy. If it can be done in science fiction, it can be done in magic. And furthermore, you probably don't have to explain it as well. So, yeah. So that's an option. Hell, maybe if the gods are real, Mercury, who is a god of technology, Hermes, Quicksilver, right, is actively protecting the island by making instruments read it as something else every time that people pass by, right? I mean, just because the Amazons are cut off from the rest of the world doesn't mean that the Greek gods are. There are people who actively worship the Greek gods today. There are people who worship modern interpretations of the Greek gods, right? Hello, Esong. Welcome back. Good to see you. We're discussing ways to hide Amazons from the rest of the world so that Amazons would not be noticed by them and they would not notice that the rest of the world around them has changed. And yeah, and there's the question, why would they never leave? This is the only thing that bothers me about Themyscira in Wonder Woman. The Amazons are adventurous by nature, and their faith, I guess, is what keeps them in place. But even so, I think that it would be, it would not be unusual for some of them to want to leave. So what stops them? And how does this girl manage to get out, right? So yeah, different ways to think about it. No need for time to run in the same place in all places either, points out Rabin, which is a very good point. Sure, maybe it's only been 5 years since the fall of Troy. Maybe they live in a parallel dimension. You said they took over Troy, right? Okay, and Troy is buried but in ruins. We found it. We know where it is. But maybe there is a dimensional gate there that keeps them in a pocket dimension. Why not, right? And they basically thought the rest of the world was gone, except that something happens to briefly align things again so that people can get across the veil, or to begin to manifest Troy as it exists with your Amazons back into the regular world. There's another thing too. That could be a complication. So it all depends on how you want to handle that, I guess. Yeah, no need to hide Amazons for eons if eons haven't passed for them. Exactly, that's a good point. Esong says, I have a friend who worships modern interpretations of the Norse gods. You don't say it's hard to please the gods through war and conquest, though. Yeah, well, that's true. They kind of have to lower their standards a little bit in the modern era, the Norse gods, I think. You know what I'm saying? Although I know a lot of Norse pagans who are soldiers. So, right? Weirdwin says, combine it with the Atlantis and Hollow Earth myths and sink the island underground. Yep, that's a possibility. Siobhan says, I agree, Raven, in my world there's a section where time runs differently. Yep. Or it could always have been in the Hollow Earth, says Weirdwin. My autocorrect keeps wanting to type Hulu Earth. Raven says, frozen in time until the Fire Nation attacked. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so Raven probably knows Hello Future Me because Raven is clearly a Avatar fan, right? So, and Hello Future Me did a great video recently arguing for soft magic systems. There's been a trend for hard magic systems with these very specific laws and rules, and it might as well be a science, just the way. And it's because Brandon Sanderson's been teaching that a lot, and the idea's been kind of catching fire in the fantasy writer community. But there's no reason why you can't have a soft magic system. It works just fine, right? So it's all in how it's presented. Yeah, Amazon Prime Earth, says SinSim. Yep. Amazons are at 99% light speed. Only a few years have passed for them. And now Weirdwind is off for dinner. Okay, I'll see you soon. While we chew on that, I'm going to take my 3 o'clock break because it's actually 3:15. I'm only going to be about 5 minutes because we are getting close to the end of the time that's scheduled here. And who are we raiding? Who's on after? I never remember. Isn't this usually the day that I raid Black Maggot? Or am I mixing that up with Wednesday? Let's see here. Oh, Kahuna! Of course, it's Kahuna Reads today. Yeah, we don't want to miss that. We don't want to miss that, so... And Kahuna is starting a little earlier than he was. He's starting in about 15 minutes, just so you know. So if you're a big fan of Kahuna Reads, I promise you I will not be offended if you go over there and check out his stuff. When I get back, we'll finish answering the Amazon question, and then basically I'm just going to do my editing and word sprinting until the end of the show anyway, unless you guys have questions you want to ask, so, or something you want to talk about. So, oh, and then Davina too. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't want to miss Davina either. Yeah, Weirderwind says my Isekai has a very structured magic system, but it's game-like to strange and crazy at the same time. That's cool. And very good point, Raven. Rothfuss does well blending hard and soft magic. Yes, his The Name of the Wind series, which is amazing writing. I wish he would finish it, but I get being stuck. Yeah. All right, I'll be right back, guys. See you in a minute. All right, we're back. I see we're having a conversation in the chat about the comparative levels of productivity. Um, DM stretch. Oh shit! I left my glasses in the other room. Okay, sorry. 1 second. Those are important. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so we're talking about one of my players on my one shot is quite dyslexic and also very impatient when it comes to reading a lot, says DM Stretch. I'm thinking of recording some audio to go with my articles, just me reading them out. This might help him actually bother to take in some of the info. You can do that. World Anvil has a variety of tools that you can use to add audio to your articles. You can embed YouTube links, Anchor podcast links, SoundCloud, I believe. And on manuscripts, you can also just directly embed an MP3 or an MP4 file or similar media files if you want, right? Which I've done from my website. So there are a bunch of different things that you could do for that. Yeah. Weird One says you can add extra spaces between words. Several dyslexic friends say it helps considerably. Yep, that's an option too. There is a text to type or a text to voice function somewhere. Maybe that's Siobhan seems to think it's Control Alt U, so maybe it is, right? DM Stretch says, although his dyslexia is only one of the issues, his stubbornness is the bigger issue. But he does like listening to lore videos on YouTube, like 40k lore, etc. So yeah, you could do that, right? You could record a brief video of yourself on Twitch if you want, reading through the important articles. And, you could even scroll down and then people have videos to watch as well, if you wanted to do that. Barbarossa says, hey Sable, do you know any good music resources? I am working on a Call of Cthulhu TTRPG world and I wanted to add some old 1920s style music. Okay, that's cool. Are you looking for it for streaming or are you looking for it to just listen to? Because those are two different answers. Both. Okay. If you get a subscription to Sirenscape, they have a channel that is entirely copyright-free 1920s ragtime type music that you can just play for streaming, right? They also have one that is not copyright safe that you can play for yourself. There are a variety of playlists on YouTube. You can look through them. Again, be careful of copyright as far as streaming goes. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, if you're looking for 1920s stuff, yes, those are good suggestions where to win because that is all copyright free. Kevin MacLeod in Compotech for some free music of various styles. He has a YouTube channel. I get a lot of music from there. I used to get a lot more from there when I was doing specifically YouTube videos a lot. So that's an option. There's also a guy named Techno Axe. Same thing. Harder to find. I don't know if that he does any 1920s style music, but you can get copyright free music from him as well. Right? Yeah, so different things, right? If you're just looking for 1920s music on you know, you can just type in and there's playlists on YouTube, right? So yeah, those are some options that I could think of anyway. If you're looking for creepy shit to put on in the background, again, Sirenscape has all kinds of creepy shit that is intended for gaming ambience. If you want to pay whatever their subscription fee is, which I forgot, it's not expensive. It's like, you know, I don't know. I never even notice it, right? But that's a thing. Or um, there is for just playing, right? You can't stream it, but there is a channel called Cryo Chamber that does on YouTube that does ambient music in particular, and they do a lot of creepy stuff, especially. So, yeah, I got a lot of their stuff on my Apocalypse playlist, which is really depressing. I can only listen to it in like limited doses. So, yeah. I hope that was of some help. All right, so you guys want to get some more work done with me? I know a lot of people are probably, you know, heading off to Kahuna pretty quick, and that's cool. I like Kahuna reads as well, so. Yes, for more work? Okay. Let's write. You know, that's the other thing, too. If we're working in the one stream and Kahuna's reading in the other stream, you can two-time the streams, and then, you know, you're not missing anything, right? Okay, let's do it. And we're off. I think I'll just do that. Barbarossa, correct. Yes, if you use that music, you should put music provided by Kevin MacLeod on the screen somewhere. Or in your, like, splash screen startup or credits. Probably that's sufficient. Aaron's fine. Thanks for checking, Barbarossa. Manuscripts question, okay? Yeah, Aaron's dead, that's right. He's the undead horde, he's the Night King. He's not fine. Sure, I will be glad to help you with the manuscripts question as soon as the sprint is done. No problem. Well, there we go. Now I'm up to date to the current chapter. Now I gotta do is skim over this and then prepare it for patrons. I just think that he needs more of a spacefarer's sense of the universe there. It's an active spacefaring culture, so. I think I can do better than that. Okay. Alright, end of sprint. How'd you guys do? Barbarossa says, okay, I will try and create a shifting text window that will display the music and see if I can get it to play along with the music. It might be possible, or you might just, you know, you can always do a verbal announcement. True, that's true. Siobhan does that. Weirdwin says, my music player writes a file which OBS reads and displays on the stream. That's cool. When I've used different players, I capture the part of the window with the song artist in it for OBS to display, with various filters so it fits my overlay theme. And I would love to see a tutorial on how the hell to do that, because that would be cool. E-Songbird says, Aaron, I'm sorry to hear you have died. Yep. Kahuna is having tech issues again? That's crappy. I am sorry to hear that. E-Song wrote another cultist prayer. Good job. Chrysalia finished their research finally. Yay! Awesome! E-Song says, turns out this is turning into quite a productive Saturday. That's great. I'm also getting a lot done. I got past my sticking point. I now know where I'm going with this. I'm just doing a little cleanup here as I go because, like I said, I want to make sure that at least the stuff that's going to publish to patrons between now and December 1st is ready to rock and roll. So, you know, I'm doing a bunch of the little touchy things as well. But I probably won't continue to do that for the chapters after, you know, what's going to be published through November. 7 o'clock in the morning for Chrysalia at this point. Holy crap. And you haven't slept yet, of course, because you've been up all night researching. That's insane. I can't do that anymore. I do that for a couple days and I'm like toast. Right? Okay, Darth Nicholas had questions about manuscripts, making things available to beta readers. Now, what the question is, what do you want your beta readers to be able to do? Do you want them to be able to write reviews or just comments, right? Like what is your intent there, Nick? Probably just comments at this point. I'm not sure on that one. Okay. So I'm about to publish this scene, so I'm going to show you what I do generally. First, you have to have created your subscriber groups already. All right. I don't know that we're doing another sprint for the rest of the day, eh? Mostly read. Okay. In that case, you have to go to the chapter heading and publish what's in the chapter. So anything under one of the file folders, not the specific text underneath it. Right? You go to settings. It says to publish chapter, right? Then it says consider turning it public, but it's just to make sure you've got the right subscriber groups here. So this is for my patrons. So Abel's, Bosun's, crew. It goes crew, Abel's, Bosun's, right? And masters. I also have editors. Up until now, I would have included live stream promo, but I'm actually unpublishing that to the live stream promo group because the promo has expired. I could just delete that, but since I'm going to raffle off at least one subscription, maybe more, I'm probably going to leave it as an existing group for now and just remove people from it as need be. Right, so yeah, and then once you've done that, you do have one ready to go. Okay, right? Then you go ahead and publish the chapter to that group. We have Growling Dragons. Since we're still talking about this, I think I'm just going to flip over to the main screen and we'll go back to the sprint afterwards. There, now that's published to that group, right? So if you were to want to create a group for just reading it through, right, I would go, where is it here? Settings and tools is what I think you want. Access. Access rights management, right? You want to go to subscriber groups. You create a subscriber group called beta readers, or whatever you want it to call, right? A description of what it's about. Position, that's where it ranks in your list so that you can find it. It doesn't matter to anybody else. It says by default, subscribers can see which groups they belong to. Check this group to hide that from them, right? So I generally let people see what groups they're part of, so I don't worry about it. Right? Visibility, yeah, self-assigning. You can choose to have people assign themselves to it. And then this is a new thing. Automatically add this group to private entities and characters invited in this world. This subscriber group will automatically be assigned to all private articles, maps, markers, etc., and will be given to all users that you've invited to your world or any of its campaigns. So, I don't know that I have anything that I specifically want to do that with, but maybe you will, right? And you create the subscriber group, and then you go to subscribers, which I'm not going to do because I don't want to expose anybody's privacy. And there will be a list of people, right? There will be a little box like the one you see here, only it will say add subscribers, and you generally add them by their World Anvil account name. Right, so make sure that you got the spelling right and the spacing and the capitalization and all that, and then you just add them to the group. Does that answer the question? Right, then from there, right, you'll want to know how to look at it. They'll need this page, right? They won't be able to look at your editing page here, right? You'll have to go to view. So you see this in the little top right hand corner here. You click that, right, and you'll get something like this, which is the, you know, presentation page. And then you see all these things with the locks. Those are only for subscribers, right? So if you are not a member of the subscriber group and you click on a lock, you'll get my custom 404 page, which says, hey, if you would like to read this, please support the Toy Soldier Saga. Here are different ways you can do that. Right? If you are part of the subscriber group that has access to it, as obviously I am, right? It just appears and you can just read it. So I do believe there's an option to leave comments at the bottom, and I'm going to double check. Yep, so you can leave comments here, right? If you would like your beta readers to make it private, then they can click that, right? Only you and the owner of the world can read this comment and its thread. So if you'd like your beta readers to just not make it public, ask them to click this box. And then when they type in things like, hey, I think your character needs some fleshing out here, then you can do that, right? And then they leave the comment, and it's all available for you to check out. Did I answer the question? Esongbird says, I'm trying to think about what the different levels and ranks in my cult would be. I have initiates and I have cult leader, but I have no idea what to put in between. Aaron has some suggestions. Deacon, initiate, brother, father, mother, sister, right? Militaristic, corporal, sergeant, sergeant at arms, lieutenant, right? Elder is also a commonly used cult title. Yes, that's true. Only other part is, should I leave the status as private? Yes, right? If you say that it is public, then it will be posted to the public. If you leave it as private, but publish it to the subscriber groups, right, then it will only appear to them. See how on this page I've got chapter 15, which I just published, right? It says private, and it's but it's available to these particular subscriber groups. So anybody in those groups can read it, nobody else can. Aaron says you can mix them too. Initiate, deacon, sergeant at arms, elder. You're welcome, Nick. Happy to help. I love this feature about manuscripts. I think it's just one of the most awesome things that has ever been invented for writers, like ever. So I'm really happy to share it. If I, you know, I'd have gotten membership for this alone. I would have. Okay, is Kahuna up, guys? Because we're almost at 4 o'clock here. And I'm thinking that rather than start another sprint and overlap his time or anything like that, unless you guys have any questions, we'll just go over and check him out, shall we? Okay, yes, he's up. Great. Nick says, I already love it, and the more I learn, the more I love it. Yeah. All right, cool. We're going to go raid Kahuna, because I like raiding Kahuna. Do not forget that our raid shout is prepare to be boarded, because we are the Sable's privateers. I would really like to thank you guys for coming today. I had a great time. This was a nice, chill stream. I really enjoyed it. I feel productive. I feel like I got things done, but I also feel like I had a chance to hang out with the community, which is always fun. So, Esong says, it almost makes me want to start writing a book, and then I remember I don't. But you know what? You could put together a book of short stories. This would actually work very well for that purpose, right? Because here, just a second, I can go back to the main screen. I gotta show you, right? You see how you got all the chapter headings here? Each one of these with this file folder could be the title of a different short story, and you could put together a short story collection. You could do this to put together a game book. Aaron's working on that, right? You can add pictures. What I've done with the pictures so far is use them to separate sections, but I could add illustrations. I can add music. I can add videos. I have added some videos and audio files of me reading the book in some places. What this one has the effect of doing, what chapter is this? This is chapter, where am I? Am I in chapter 17? Is that what I clicked on? I think so. Okay, so if I were to look at chapter 17, here, let's see here. Okay, this is chapter 15, I think, isn't it? No, I don't remember. This is like chapter 2. Okay, we're going to go back to main screen. We're going to go to chapter 15 just because I know that it's got one in there. See, I'm using them as scene breaks, like when you have the asterisks. Was it 15? I don't remember what I'm doing now. Okay, no, I was not on chapter 15. I just published chapter 15. What chapter was I looking at there? 17. Oh, okay. I don't have 17 published yet. I can't show that. Let's see. There's got to be another one. 14? Ah, okay. I got one in 14. Okay, I'll show. So by putting that illustration there between, that is what it appears like. It looks like a section break in my chapter. Each one of my chapters appears on one page, and the scenes are broken up by those instead of asterisks. I think it looks awesome. But you could use comic illustrations, right? You could do the whole thing in comics, right? You could use, maps. I'm probably going to put my map in this. Why wouldn't I? So much you can do. Yeah. Nick says, I do have a manuscript just for short stories. I love it for that. Yup. Song lyrics? Yup. E-Song says, she's like a kid in a candy store with a new Nintendo Switch. Yes. Yes, I am. It's so wholesome and uplifting. I'm glad that my enthusiasm is infectious and that it's fun to watch, because I am really enthusiastic about it. I've been wanting this my whole life, right? World Anvil is the stuff I wanted my whole life. Right? I needed this when I was 10 years old. I've been waiting 35 years for this. I have it. I love it. Yeah. Asterix? What about obelisk and get a fix? That's right. Dingbats! Yes, you could put dingbats in there. Absolutely. Yes, I love Asterix comics. They're amazing. Yeah. They will never get old. Okay, guys. Thanks for joining me. This was a lot of fun. I had a great time. Let's go check out Kahuna. Don't forget to yell. Prepare to be boarded, because we are the Sable's Privateers. I will see you guys tomorrow night, I hope. Our Toy Soldiers Old School game is back in commission tomorrow night, and we have a special surprise for you. We have some stuff we've been working on for that, so come check it out. Shall I tell them, dear, or shall I wait? Foundry? No, not yet. Aaron has not yet cracked the code on how to do the server with that, I don't think. But close. Okay. Wait, says Siobhan. Okay, I should wait. Alright, that's fair. Siobhan's in the game. It's fair, but it's a surprise, and it'll be fun. So come check it out. It's really cool. We've done some work. Tell us, the Z-Song. Now she's like, you let it out there. Now you have to tell me. You know what? I feel the same way when I do that. I'm in the chat. That counts for something too. Yeah, and you often show up for the game too. I don't know. What do you think, Siobhan? Flips the table. That's great. You know what? I think I'm going to tell you. Now she's threatening me with spells. I think I know what I'm saying. Nothing, says DM Stretch. You know what? We got one day. We got one day before it happens. So you know what? I will. I will. Okay? We're going on camera. We got it worked out. We figured out how to get us all on camera. And that reminds me that I have to get the name labels done. So I better do it. So not everybody will be on camera, because some of us are on satellite internet and some of us just prefer not to be on camera, and that's okay. But they will have a little character image, which, we're going to do with Google Meet, and you'll be able to see it flash when they talk, so you'll be able to tell which character is talking. You won't have to think about that. Yay, it was that, says DM Stretch. Yeah, you bet. So we will see you tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Pacific. I have really got to start making a list of where that equates to in the different time zones. E-Song says, I'm so flipping stoked that it's been the one barrier on Monday nights. It's still been a great experience, but now it's going to be amazing. Well, I hope so, right? We heard your feedback. We heard feedback from other people that they really would prefer to have something to look at when we're talking, and we're going to do it. So, yeah. We will see you tomorrow night. Tuesday, Aaron will be back at 1 p.m. Pacific for Ask an Old GM, as usual. On Wednesday, I will be back for Diane Writes. And I think it's another week on developing a plot. Sarah has agreed to come back next week, Sarah Berman. And if you guys like, we are going to help you workshop your plot ideas to see if we can get them to loosely fit her 9-point structure. So, when Aaron might stream tonight, apparently. So, awesome. Yeah, so if you guys want us to do that, be prepared to bring it to the chat, or you can post links in the Nano and Writing channel in our Discord. I will put that up. Yeah, best wishes go out to writer Greg. For those who don't know, he does have a COVID-19 diagnosis. He says he's going to be dialing back his evening sprints because he needs to get more sleep, and I totally understand that. I'm glad he's only experiencing minor or mild symptoms so far, and I hope it stays that way, right? But in the meantime, you know, we're going to try to help fill in the gap, and we expect others probably will too, right? We already stream a lot, so if other people want to step in, awesome, right? Okay, so here's our Discord if you'd like to join us there. If you want the Nano and Writing channel, then give yourself the writer role when you get there, and then you get access to that channel. And if you've got like a longer plot you want us to think about, put it in there. If you got something that you got a short description about, we can do it in the chat on Wednesday. And now we're off to raid Kahuna. I might look at taking the slot until he's recovered, maybe. Fair enough. Stretch, we can trade it off too if you want. Aaron's usually available, right? So, you know, we'll hold the fort until he gets back, right? Okay, have a great day, everyone. I certainly have had a great time, and we'll see you over at Kahuna's.